I'm Curtis Greene here at Bad Habit Gun Dogs. My wife and I have the kennels here, and she is a professional dog trainer, training English Springer Spaniels and English Cocker Spaniels, in which she also field trials. I have a lot of experience in guiding hunts, whether it be quail hunts or even helping put on the pheasant hunts. And I do get asked to shoot in AKC field trial events, which is a fairly prestigious thing. And a lot of that is because of my gun safety. And so I want to go over that gun safety with you today, and we'll go from there. With this over-under shotgun, it's important to keep it broke over whenever you're not actually out hunting. Whenever you're not coursing down the field, to keep it broke over. I keep it unloaded, and that's what you should too. When you're not questing for game, it does not need to have bullets in the barrels. So standing around, whatever, when the dog comes out, that's when the bullets come out and get put in the gun. You're in a line, and so you want the bullets in the gun only when you're in the line and fixing to actually move forward. So when the dog is cast off, then I'm going to watch where the dog's at. I'm not going to close my gun and point it at a dog when it's closed, because when it's closed, it could go off. So I'm going to close my gun, and my gun goes straight up into the air. In this position here, this is a very safe way to carry a gun. If I trip and fall, I'm going to be carrying my gun where it's going to go. I don't have any risk of it shooting me, and if it does go off, it's going to be shooting down the field. It's not going to be going off in the direction of one of the other hunters that are out to my sides. So it's one thing to be holding your gun like this. I carry my gun like this usually when I think that the bird's coming up. Maybe I see the dog and the dog's making a bird. I'm going to carry my gun like this. Barrels are still straight up in the air. Now, after a long day of hunting, you see a lot of people that throw their gun over their shoulder like this. Now, that's very dangerous, and it's dangerous because when you look, your gun's moving. And of course, fingers off the trigger. I'm always treating this thing like it's loaded, but fingers off the trigger because we don't want it to happen. But I'm gonna turn like this. Well, who knows what your gun's pointing at over there? That's not safe at all. You want to keep your gun straight up in the air. A lot of people are trained to, as little kids, it's easier maybe for them to carry it where it's pointed at the ground. Well, you've got dogs that are going out there. You can get carried away and swinging your gun into who knows what. That's not as safe as being straight up in the air, so everyone needs to carry their gun straight up in the air. Another thing I just went over, we're treating the gun like it's loaded and on fire all the time. But even when I have my gun in my hand like this, my finger's never on that trigger until I go and I pull the safety off as I'm mounting my gun, and then my finger goes on the trigger. So safety stays on until you're mounting your gun, and then as you're mounting your gun, or when you've got your gun mounted, that's when your safety goes off, and that's when you can put your finger on your trigger. But that's the safest way to handle that gun. One safety aspect to consider when you're doing this style of hunt is you have spaniels that are working in front of you, and they're quartering back and forth, and they're getting birds up, and the dog safety is almost as important as the human safety for everyone else that's in the line with you. So we want to make sure those birds get up. You've got plenty of time. The range that you have with your shotgun is very effective, out way further than what you think. So let that bird get out, let the bird start flying, then come up, raise up, and shoot. You don't want to track a bird. When you track a bird, you're focusing a little bit too hard on the bird. You're not paying attention to your surroundings, and that's one of the main things with safety, is you want to know what your surroundings are, what's behind your target, not to be so focused in on your target that you ignore the other things. There's going to be a lot of excitement when you go to raise up on a cackling rooster, or when that covey flushes and there's birds that go all over the place. It's a lot of excitement, but you need to pick that one bird, focus in on that bird while you're still paying attention to everything that's going around you, and then take that safe shot. So when you get done hunting in the field, and say you're moving to the next spot, or you're taking a break, go ahead and break your gun, still keeping it in a safe field. I look out of habit. I look where my gun swings, even when I'm breaking it, and then it's pointed here at the ground. Safe way to carry it, safe way to carry it. not a safe way to carry it. I can't see what's back there. You know, my guns, somebody walks around and they see a barrel pointed at them. We know it's unloaded, but it's not good to sit there and see a barrel swing at you. So go ahead, keep it in front of you, keep it pointed at the ground when it's broke over. And you can do that over your shoulder, you can do that under your arm, you can do it by holding it here, however you want to do it, it's fine, as long as it's pointed in a safe direction where you can see where those barrels are at. And so as you're hunting and dogs are working in front of you and you're in this line and you're pushing through and there are trees and down trees, you got low trees that you're squatting under, remember where your barrel's pointing. And also, if you come to a ravine or something like that that you're going to have to cross, go ahead and break your gun over. Go ahead and break your gun over. This is as safe as you can get. You can crawl under or crawl over or work your way down something steep and you get up on the other side and then you close your gun and you're right back to hunting. So trying to keep a gun loaded in something where you have to grab a tree or something with one hand, that's not a safe way to go about crossing obstacles along the way. If you get to something where you think, ooh, you know, that's kind of sketchy, go ahead and break that gun over, get across it, close it back. You never missed a beat, and go from there. So here I have a semi-automatic shotgun. This is a Benelli Ethos. You can see that the breech is open. I don't have any shells in it. It's completely unloaded. This is the way you need to transport your gun. In a vehicle, if you are just finishing up with a hunt or something like that, go ahead and unload your gun and have it left open. I'm not going to put a shell in and close this until we're actually pursuing game. So I'll drop a shell in, then I close it. Now this gun is capable of firing. Other than the safety, these are extremely safe. Same thing with the over-under, you need to keep your safety on. You can carry this the same way, everything's the same, with the exception of when you are done with the hunt, you need to go ahead and unload the gun. And when your gun is unloaded, you need to have this open. You cannot carry this like you can with the over-under. You need to have your gun pointed up. Even when you're walking, needs to be pointed up. Still no over the shoulder. Gun needs to be pointed up. Whoever's back there and sees my gun laid like this cannot tell if I have a shell in this gun. So semi-autos, fine to hunt with. I mean, you got more shells than you probably even need, but you want to make sure that you're keeping it safe whenever you're not actually hunting. This needs to be open, and you can walk back to the truck, put it up, do whatever. When you put it up, if you want to close it to put it up, that's fine. You're in your pickup, close it, put it up, but still no bullets in the gun. So one thing about hunting with people, and you may not know the person right next to you, or you may not know anyone there, you got the invite to come, and that's perfectly fun. Everyone should have a fun, safe time while they're out hunting in the field. But if you see something that makes you nervous, you need to say what you saw, or make someone aware of what you saw, because that alone could potentially save someone from seriously getting injured, whether it be injuring themselves or injuring the person they're hunting next to. It's one thing to just say like, oh, I don't want to hunt next to that guy. Well, if you see something, mention it. Either talk to them, you don't have to be rude or anything to them about it, but like, hey, point out what you see that's making you nervous. And if you're not comfortable with that, make sure you tell the huntsman or whoever's putting on the hunt, whoever's facilitating the hunt, let them know what you're seeing, what made you uncomfortable, so that they can address that issue. Maybe they do it in a private setting to where, you know, nobody's trying to be embarrassed or anything like that, but we want everyone to have a safe and fun time watching the dogs and getting to shoot birds. So I hope you take these gun safety tips with you into the field and have a great time. Enjoy the dog work, enjoy the hunt, enjoy the conversations with people in between hunting, while you're hunting. It's all about having a good time and being safe doing it for both people and the dogs.